Hi everyone, welcome back. So, first of all, apologies because, oh, dog. I haven't been particularly creative in the past 3 weeks. I've been pretty busy, and I know that's everybody's excuse. Oh, I'm so busy, but I actually have been busy. I haven't really had a chance to properly make videos. I have been planning videos, but I'm only just now finding the time to be able to actually go out and create them. So hopefully there'll be something actually good on this channel at some point in the next few days. But for now, I just thought I would do what I've read, because as much as I've not had a lot of time for creating things, I have been reading quite a lot. And I started to do like what I'd read each month a few months back, and then I just didn't carry on with it. So yeah, I'm going to do what I read in July so far. I have actually read 4 books recently, and yes, I'm just going to start with the one that's at the top of the pile. So the first book I read was Me Before You. I was in Waterstones and it was buy one get one half price, so I got this, and I also got All the Bright Places, which I haven't read yet, so that'll be next month. I'm going to read that next, I think. I have that, and I also have Girl on the Train to read. And everybody's gone on about it so much, and I see now that it's also been made into a movie. I did watch the trailer for it and I'm kind of intrigued, so I have that to read, but I'm going on about different books now and not the one that I was going to go on about. So the main characters in this book are Lou Clark and Will Traynor, and so Lou is this girl who lives at home with her parents and her sister and her nephew and her grandpa as well. It's like a full house, and she's been working at a little cafe just near her house, like in her hometown, for several years now. I think it's like 7 or 8 years or something. But one day she is basically handed 3 months pay and told that the cafe's going to be closing, so she has to look for another job. So meanwhile, Will Traynor, that's the character we meet first, and we see him in a successful job and you know, with a girlfriend and lots of money and happy life, and he goes out and he does lots of kind of extreme sports and things like that. But then he is in an accident involving a motorbike, and then he is paralysed from like here down. He has slight movement in his fingers, but not too much. So back to Lou, she is looking for a job, and after trying various things, she ends up with the job of being Will's carer. So it's basically a kind of, it's a love story, and you know, obviously spoilers if you haven't read it, but you know, she falls in love with him, and he loves her as well, but he has other plans. So it's not your typical kind of happily ever after book. The ending you're expecting is probably not the one that you're going to get, and I quite enjoyed that about it, the fact that it surprised me. And although as you get towards the end, you kind of start to know what the ending's going to be, but I was pleased that for a change it wasn't all kind of ideal and you know, what we wanted it to be. It was more kind of real life thing and true to the characters' wishes. So yeah, so I actually went on to read the sequel. Where is my Kindle? I don't know. I got the sequel on Kindle, which is called After You, and I've just finished it. Wasn't as enamored with the second book. I felt that we could have just gone on not having to know what happened to Lou, but maybe that was just me. Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like a story just for the sake of it, and too much kind of weird stuff happened to Lou through these 2 books. It just became unrealistic to me. But I like this. It's worth a read. The movie, as always, doesn't have as much detail as the book, but it was still a nice little kind of romantic movie with a bit of a different ending, so yes, would recommend. So the next book I read was Always With Love by Giovanna Fletcher. So this is a continuation of the Billy and Me kind of series. There was Billy and Me, and then there was Christmas with Billy and Me, and then there was Always With Love. But I'm going to admit that I've never read Billy and Me, and I didn't read Christmas with Billy and Me either. For some reason I thought I would read this. So, you know, if you're reading a series of books and you get to like the second or third one and it becomes really tedious, the fact that it keeps referencing back to the first books to kind of fill you in information that you already know. Actually, that's pretty handy when you haven't read the first book. So obviously I kind of got the gist of what had happened with Billy and Sophie in the first book, and I was able to read this and kind of understand it and enjoy it as a standalone book. So basically this is Sophie and Billy have been kind of enjoying this ideal life in a little small village where Sophie lives, and she runs a little cafe in it. But then they go back to LA where Billy's family lives, and Billy kind of gets swept up in his showbiz life again. He'd been kind of on a break from acting for a while, and you know, he starts to go back to it, and then Sophie flies home alone, and she is left kind of wondering where the relationship is going and if it can survive kind of long distance. Again, it's another kind of nice little romantic story. It's a little bit more predictable than the other one I read, but yeah, it's one of these books that you can read really easily, kind of feel good, and yeah, I enjoy reading this kind of book. Also good if you've read Billy and Me already. If you haven't, you can totally read this as a standalone book, but probably it would be a good idea to read Billy and Me and Christmas with Billy and Me first, which I will do at some point, and then probably reread this. Okay, so the final thing that I've read this month so far is the book that I'd pre-ordered, and I really this had been so hyped up because I'll show you what it is, right, and then I can talk about why it was so hyped for me. It is On the Other Side by Carrie Hope Fletcher. So I've been watching Carrie for quite a long time now on YouTube, and so I'd seen her videos where she first announced that she was actually writing a fiction book. I've read most of All I Know Now, but I didn't really feel it was suited to me as an almost 30-year-old woman, so I've read most of it, but it's not really aimed at me, and yeah, I'm about 3/4 of the way through and then I kind of gave up. But anyway, but this is a fiction book, and so I'd seen Carrie announce that she was writing a fiction book, and kind of seen through her vlogs the progress of it, and then finally down to publication day. So I had been looking forward to this for quite a long time. So I'd actually pre-ordered it on Amazon, and the day that it was meant to come, I'd gone out before the post had come, and I was actually at a Waterstones, and I saw it outside, and I was like, will I just buy it? But I was like, no, when I get home my copy will definitely be there. So I got home and it wasn't there, and I went on Amazon and realised that my payment details had been put in incorrectly. I'd put in an old card, and so I hadn't got it, so I cancelled it and went back to Waterstones the next day and I bought it from there. This, I don't want to spoil it because this is such a new book that a lot of you won't have read it yet. This was a surprising book to me, and it was kind of almost in a weird way. Well, first of all, it's a love story, and I really enjoyed the fact that the love story is different to anything else that I've read before. So the main characters are Evie Snow and Vincent Winters, and so I'll give away this little bit. So at the beginning of the book, Evie finds herself in a flat that she used to live in when she was 27 I'm going to say. So she finds herself in a flat that she used to live in when she was 27, and in her 27-year-old body she is back to her younger self again, and because she was 82. So she has died, and kind of in a purgatory kind of situation where she has to go through her apartment door to kind of move on, but she can't get through because she's too heavy. There are things kind of weighing her down, and then she has to resolve those issues and kind of unburden herself before she can move on. So we see a lot of Evie's past, and Vincent Winters is introduced into it, and it's a really interesting love story that kind of keeps you reading, and I very much enjoyed it for that. There were moments in it, spoilers, that there were moments in it where things happened, and at first I had read them thinking that it was just a metaphor, but then as it went on I was like, oh, actually that wasn't a metaphor, that thing actually happened. And it was a kind of magical type thing where that I wasn't expecting. It seemed to come out of nowhere, and I'm not sure, honestly I'm not sure how I feel about it, because there had been no mention of anything magical up to a certain point, and then something happened, and then I was just like, there's magical stuff happening here. Maybe magical's not the right word, but it kind of is. And you know, there's several events that happen in the second half of this book that I don't know how to explain it. Like, I just wasn't expecting it. and I don't know yet whether I enjoyed that element of it or not. It was a little bit strange to me. I did enjoy the book. I enjoyed the story, the love story part of it, and it's well written, and the characters, like every character is well thought out. Even the small ones have backstory and have a purpose. There's no character that's there just for the sake of being there. They're all there for a reason and well thought out and are people in their own right. But the only thing niggling at me is this kind of supernatural-ish magical element to it that I'm just not sure whether I enjoyed or not. Without it, the ending of the story wouldn't have worked or made any sense, so it had to be there, but I don't know. I'm not sure how to feel about it, but give it a read. I still recommend this book anyway. Like, give it a read and you might enjoy that side of it more than I did. But give it a read anyway, just for like the way it's written, all the characters. It's very well thought out, very good book. I enjoyed it 90% and just unsure about this kind of magical supernaturally element to it, basically. So that was everything that I've read so far in July. I'm going to read All the Bright Places next. I'm also going to read Girl in the Train, and I'm sure I have something else somewhere that I was going to read, but I can't remember what it was, so I'm going to read something else. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and comment down below with what you thought. If you've read any of these books, comment down below with what you thought, especially on the other side. I want to know other people's thoughts on the kind of magically element of it. And yeah, if you want to see more book reviews where I just talk for 16 minutes, I'm running out of time, then let me know down below, and I will see you soon for... So I was just editing that video and realised that for some reason my camera totally cut off right at the very end, so I just thought I'd film this little outro. Also, my hair is ridiculous in this video. I had it tied up earlier and then I took it down and I've got like a bobble mark through it. Anyway, I'm totally talking nonsense now. If you want to see more book reviews and stuff, then let me know, and hopefully in the next few days I'm going to actually have a video outside in the fresh air, getting out and about, flying the drone, doing the stuff that I actually want to do that I haven't had a chance to do for like 3 weeks. So yeah, if you want to see that, then please subscribe, like this video, comment, all that kind of stuff, and I will see you guys all next time. Bye!